let us quickly jump into the short introduction about me. So, myself, Raja Subramanian, and having around 14 plus years of experience. I'm currently working for Tata Consulting Services, TCS, and located in Europe, Finland. And I'm having a lot of experience in the Microsoft background. Like my career started somewhere in .NET and then moved to SharePoint, then SQL Server, and then Azure, and then now Power Platform. So I do have experiences in the Salesforce as a CRM tool. So that's about short intro about me, and you can follow me in either LinkedIn or the blogs. So in at least I will be very active in LinkedIn and blog post. And that's about a small update or introduction about me. Let us go through the today's agenda. Okay, so what exactly we are going to do today? So we are going to see I don't know, talk about the managed environments in detail, like what is managed environment, why actually it is now introduced by Microsoft, and like how we can enable it, and what are the features it is available as part of this managed environment, and then like how we can use it, I mean, as a site admin, site administrator, how we can take into use and then reduce our manual work. This is about the managed environments, and if time permits, let us also go through the short demo about how we can delete the Power Automate and then Power Apps flows from the front end, I mean from the portal, and then how we can restore it by using the CLI commands. So after this session, like all of us, we should know like how we can activate and how we can get benefit from the managed environment feature, and then how we can restore the deleted power apps or the Power Automate flow from the environment. So that's the key takeaway. Let us go to this one. So what exactly it is Microsoft Power Platform, right? You already familiar, all of you already familiar with these Power Platforms. So it was having like four uh, solid components like Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Virtual Agents, and recently Microsoft introduced the Power Pages, which is in preview stage, which will go GA by this year end. And like that's one of the kind of newer addition to the Power Platform. And in the bottom, if you see, like I have not mentioned or brought all the core components, but if you see, like Data Connectors, AI Builder, Microsoft Dataverse, and Power FX. So these four are the kind of core components to the Power Platform. And now Microsoft introduced this managed environment as another core component to help, especially to help the site administrators. So let us see, like before we go to this managed environments and what it is, let us, I think if you are already familiar with this Power Platform governance, like if you're already having experience in Power Platform, then you may be familiar with Power Platform governance. But like if you are just started learning the Power Platforms, maybe like then this slide will be helpful for you. So Power Platform governance, what is Power Platform governance? Like we have the multiple components here, as I said, like apps, automate, Power Automate, and then Power BI, Power Virtual Agents, and Power Pages, right? And these, all the 4 or 5 pillars of the Power Platform components are used by the citizen developers or by the pro developers, right? You need to manage your environment in such a way that it is like healthy, and it is very safety from the security point of view, and we are also not like kind of no over running with this our capacity and those things. So these are all the main items you will be doing, or you will be doing as part of your governance. So for this, like for example, if there is a analytical, like tenant level analytics, if you want to see like how many Power Apps which is running there in your environment, in your organization, how many environments are there, and how many Power Apps are there, how many Power Automate flow is running, and is it like everybody is going and accessing these power apps or the power automate flow which was created. So these type of things you will have to manage as part of your governance, I mean daily day-to-day governance activity. And you will also have to manage the permission. That is very important, right? So that also you will be taking care as part of this governance activity. And if you see, like, I have mentioned a lot of activities, like you need to see the analytics about your tenant, and then you need to see the health about your tenant, and then you need to check about the score components, whether it is available or no, and then is there any security flaw is going to. So there are a lot of a lot of topics which I was telling, right? So all this, at this moment at least, you have to spend a lot of time to manage it. Think like, for example, you are a governance team, and your organization is at the core using the power platform. Maybe like you may have a lot of environments, right, and a lot of users if it is very big company. If you are thinking from that point of view, like as a governance team, you may have a lot of work. So is there any tool available to kind of, at least easy the governance work? Yes, the tool is available. The tool is called Microsoft COE Starter Kit. So it is like, if you are asking me, like it is not a pure Microsoft kit. It is like, like the pro developers, they have already started developing some of the tools which will help to automate, or which will at least to a certain extent to automate the governance work. So that's how it is started. So if you are seeing from the governance point of view, like the COE is nothing but Center of Excellence. So that's why we call it a Center of COE. Center of Excellence is nothing but a team which kind of, will help you, will help the citizen developer or the, pro developers to define the process of your organization, and get the things like, to regulate the flow of the deployment, or the application lifecycle management. So that's main part of the COE team. And this tool have many components. Like for example, if I go to the tool, you might have seen a lot of components here. It has it like this is one tool. COE is one tool, but it has inside a lot of components, like for example core components, and then this Power BI integration, and then this audit logs, and then ALM accelerator, and then AM accelerator for makers. So there are many core components available. You need to, for example, use it, or I mean, like, you need to first of all download it from the Microsoft website, and then you need to set up. So there is the setup guide which is available. You can very well go ahead and, like, see, it's like here step by step instruction will be there in the Microsoft documents. And then I have also mentioned the Microsoft step by step instruction videos. You can use it, or you can when you are wanted to try, maybe like you can use it. And if you see, like, I have not installed, or I'm not going to cover much about the COE. But if you see, one of the feature is like available if you're installing the COE starter kit, and then if you're integrating with your Power BI dashboard, then you will see this type of screen, like where it will give you an impression about your total environment, and then how many is active, and then total how many makers are in your organization, and then whether the app is currently active or inactive, and then who are all the like, majority of the app maker and with their counts. So this tool is already now available. But if you see, this is a separate tool you need to install into your tenant, and then you need to start keep on updating this tool every 3 months. So this is not coming as part of your power platform. That is the reason. So there is a gap now, right? For example, you have a lot of manual work to do as a governance, but you do not have a tool. So Microsoft thought about this, and it now introduced the managed environment. So managed environment is one of the core component. As part this is now currently in a preview feature. It will go live soon. And this managed environment feature, just a start, I mean starting stage. So in this starting stage, it has only three features. Like, you can get the weekly update about your environment, and then you can kind of control your permission of the app, I mean sharing of the app, and then you can control the data policies at this moment. But in the next few waves, it may be increase, I mean it will definitely increase, and it will become a site administrators one of the day-to-day tool which we are going to use. And by using this tool, you can kind of do most of your governance activities. So that's the aim of the managed environments, managed environments, and it will be evolving. So as I said, the first wave, it is only 3 features, but in future it will be a lot of features. So that's the managed environment. So now we have seen like what is governance, and then what is COE tool, and why the managed environment is currently needed. And then now let us say like now it is available, I mean Microsoft introduced it and it is available. We can go ahead and enable it. It is just very simple. In a few click you can just go ahead and enable it. So who can enable this managed environment? So you should have, for example, you should have a global administrator permission, or you may be one of the Power Platform service admin, or you should have this dynamic 365 admin active directory permissions. If you have all the 3 permissions, then you can go ahead and enable it. Or you can, somebody enabled it, then you can just go ahead and see the setup. And if, for example, I'm not going to enable, but I want to see it. So if that is the case, then you should have the environment level permissions, or maybe for example you should have a delegated admin permissions. If you have these 2 level of permissions, then you can go ahead and view the managed environment setup. Just I'm giving a theoretical. I will jump into the demo soon. Now, where you can enable from the Power Platform Admin Center portal, you can enable. Just go and select the environment which you want to enable, and then you just enable it. Once you enable it, or while you are enabling it, there will be kind of 3 to 4 features where you can just go ahead and set up. That we will see it. And this is the setup. What I'm showing here is like, one second. Yeah. So what I'm saying here is like from the front end, I mean Power Platform Admin Center, but you can also do the same from the PowerShell. I mean the CLI commands. That at least I will not cover today, but it is there, that feature. Okay. And now let us jump into the demo first, and then we'll come to this slide deck later. So if you're going to this Power Platform Admin Center, you can see like I have kind of 3 different environments. But for example, if you want to enable the once again, give me a moment. Sorry. Yeah, sorry for it. So now we have 3 environments, and you also need to know that the managed environment, managed environment feature cannot be enabled for the development environment. I mean that also I will show you. For example, now this is my production environment, and uh, this is my the development environment. So I have already enabled the managed environment features. So like you are not able to see it, but if you see the before I was enabling, I was just taking this screenshot. If you see like an enable managed environment will be there. So you just need to select the environment, and then you just need to uh, click on that button. Okay, that's how you can enable it. And for example, I was also saying that you cannot enable the managed environment feature for the development. If you see like this is a developer environment, if I try to enable it, it says that it will say, it will give you an error that something went wrong, while adding the management features. So this is because that this is a development environment. So once you enabled the managed environment, it will showing like edit managed environment preview, and then you can see the list of features. So the first feature which I was telling is like weekly digest. So let us see like what this weekly digest will will give as a benefit to us. So it you will get a weekly email to your email address. So who are all will get the emails that we will see it, but what the weekly digest will have as a information to you, what is the benefit you will get it. So now if you see three sections or four sections, you will have this email. The first section will have a dashboard which will tell you that how many active apps you have it in your environment, and then how many active flows you have it in your environment, and then how many app users you have it in your environment. So this is the first information we get. And the second information is like it will give you whether all the list of apps from the environment. Like if it is like 52 apps, all the 52 apps will be listed out, and it will have this last launch date as well. So from here you can you will come to know that okay, like when was this app last updated or last opened by any of the user, whether it is really launched, whether it is really opened or not. If you see let's app 1, none, meaning that it is never launched. And then app 2, if you see November 11 2021, meaning that in this date this app is launched. Okay, so this is the other one. And then the third part is most popular apps, so that also you will come to know like how many sessions. Okay, is it like if you see like this flow one was like 24,363. So this is the kind of number of sessions, number of usage. So from this you will come to know like what is the app which is used majorly by the users. So it will have like both, it will give the same information for the flow as well the app. So your weekly digest will have this much informations. One condition is if you need to get this information, you have to enable this analytics at the tenant level. So where you can enable it, let us go to the environment. So you can see here weekly digest only here. Okay, before we go there, if you are enabling the managed environment feature, then it will be available here. And by default all the production environment will be included into this weekly digest email. Okay, so for example I have enabled here, and here you can see include this environment. And if I go to the another my other production environment, here it will be like included. So by default, so for example if I get this by weekly digest email, I will get information about my apps and then my flow for these two environments. And if I do not want to get information about these apps from this for this power pages environment, then you just untick and then just save it so that you will not get it. And then who will okay, so before I go there, and as I said, like if you see here, make sure the tenant level analytics is turned on. So where you can enable this tenant level analytics, you can go to the power page, power platform admin center, go to the power platform admin setup, then you will see this one, enable tenant level analytics. If you do not enable this, then you will not get this complete analytics. So main point is you should enable it first at the tenant level. So now I have enabled it. Let us go further and check these other features. So now you will get an email about all with all your apps in-depth trend, and who will get the emails. Okay, so you should decide who should receive these emails, right? By default all the power platform administrators and dynamic 365 administrator users will receive. But if you want in some case, for example, your security team to receive, or maybe like some other person who is not part of these two groups wanted to receive, then you just add it as a comma separated value. Then like all these people, sorry, all these people will be receiving these emails. And you may have one question that, okay, like I have, like for example, 10 numbers. Now it is up to 10, but it will be increased once it is going to live. I mean, G availability, it will be increased. So for example, say that you have 20 emails or 15 emails to add. Each and every time, do I need to come here and add? The answer is no. If you want, if you are familiar and if you are comfortable, you can come and add it here. Otherwise, you can add it by using the CLI commands. So I will give that as well today, for example, how you can add. So for easy and quick reference, I have listed out all the commands here. And I believe that you all already familiar with this Power Platform CLI command. If you are not familiar with Power Platform CLI command, maybe you can check my blog. I have covered where you can download and install. But in my case, now I have already installed, and then it is already there. What we need to do now is, first of all, you need to connect to your Power Platform tenant. So just giving the command, and then it will ask you to select the tenant, I mean the URL. So I just selected my tenant. Then now I logged in to the tenant. So now if you see the uh, query here, I'm just putting this I mean, like, variable, storing it like custom protection level is equal to basic. So yeah, so before I go to this email setup, you can enable and disable the power the managed environment by using the script, I mean CLS script. So but today I'm not going to cover this, but this is a script for this. Now you need to add this email recipients. So you just add this, tenant, get the tenant settings, and then you just add this emails. So here if you see, like, additional admin emails, sync the tenant setup. So for example, now I will go, you might have seen, like, I have only this pp learning. Now let us go and do this. And then if you refresh it, I mean, if once you, now you are just getting the tenant setting, and then you are say, like, passing these variables, and then now you are going to set your tenant settings, meaning now it is now completed. Now if I go and update my screen, so if I go and search now, if you see, it is reset my previous emails. So this is just a previous email which this is the emails which we have used here. So in this way, you can also update this email recipients. So this is one of the feature. The second feature which I was telling is, like, limiting the permissions, I mean limiting the sharing permissions. Now if you see, like, you cannot control from the Power Platform admin center how your environments, app maker share their apps, that you cannot control. But here there is this new feature, the apps which are created by using a security group, or maybe like by using like for example, if you want to make that your app maker should not share the app more than 2 people or 3 people, then you can set up from here. Only thing is, to set this individual numbers, you should enable this exclude sharing with security groups feature. Otherwise you will not get this feature. For example, if I uncheck this, this feature is disabled. So you check, then this will be allowing you. So for example, now let us say, like, I just put it like this. Before I put this, let me do this. For example, just save it. And one more thing, you kind of also remember, whatever setup we are doing here, this will take maximum by 1 hour to get in effect. Okay, but since my environment is very less, I mean, like, no, from the data point of view, it is very small, so it is, or it will affect very quickly. Now I do not set any setup here, and then if I go to my power apps portal, and if I let it load. Yeah, if I go and click on share, I have a security group already called, for example, people learning, and then I have many users in my Active Directory already who are using it. Now, if I go and type my security group, and then, for example, I have a user called Alan. If I select and then if I share, then it will allow me to share. So all permission changes were saved successfully, meaning that my app is already shared. Now, for example, I want to update this in such a way that my app maker should not share my kind of share app via the security group, and it should not share more than 2 people. So if I'm saving it, this changes. And then if I go here and again update my apps, now if I go and share, for example, I will remove this. I think this is fine. Yeah, now I will try to share with the security group. And if I click share, I should get an error that it is not possible. Yeah, maybe, like, it is because of that it is not still affected. Maybe, like, I will try with something other apps. Let us see whether here it is affected or not. Yeah, so this is a security group. I'm trying to share. Okay, so this is not still, I think, affected, but it will take some time to get affected. As I said, like, maybe 1 hour. Let us give a last try before we skip this item. Yeah, okay, now it is, and I am in the same environment. Let me do a control Fi to clear the cache and make it fresh. So maybe let us go this one. Share. Okay. Okay, I'm sharing as a co-owner. Okay, so it is still taking some time, but once you set this one, and then if you're coming here and trying it, it should not allow you to share this. And the same, like, if you are sharing it with more people, then you will get a message that permission denied. Here, I mean, your organization have a policy that, yeah, you cannot use this people learning or the security group and more than 2 users. That type of error message you will get it. So that's what about this limit sharing. And then third feature is this data policies. So data policies, I think, from beginning, this data policies there in our power platform. And what is data policies? I think if you want to data policies mainly to cover the data security, to kind of secure your data, and to kind of apply some of the policies at the, for example, data level. So how at the data level you can apply a policy, maybe like by uh, kind of restricting the connector. I mean, like, to which connector you can connect from your organization. So that is the data policy. Now, for example, what is this feature? I mean, data policy, it is already there. What it is doing here in the sense, you can see, like, for example, I have 3 environments, and later maybe I have, like, for example, 50 environments, and all the 50 environments may have the different data policies, and I want to go and see the data policies. At this moment, you can go and you can see the data policies every environment. So, and if you want to see all the 50 environments data policies in a single place, then that is where, this feature is bringing. So there is this feature like data policies. You can see all the uh, data policies here in a single place, and then you can just kind of, work with these data policies. And maybe like I will little bit cover about these data policies, like how we can cover. For example, if you want to set a new data policy, then you click on this new policy, then it will kind of, give you the name, maybe like data policy demo. I'll just put it, go to the name. So here you can, for example, 3 different groups you will have: business, non-business, and then blocked. I was telling, right, the data policy is nothing but controlling the data. How you can control the data? By restricting the connectors, because connector is the one place, one placeholder where you will connect with the data, right? So where you can define, I mean, here in the data policy you can define. For example, I want to disable this 2 connectors from my organization users to use. Just select and then move it to the black group. Now you see like these 2 connectors is moved to blacked. And then once I set up this policy, like once I, kind of set up this, I can select whether it is like yeah, all the environment, or maybe like some environment as exception we can exclude something like. Then it is like, if, like, for example, I want to decide to enable this data policy for all the environment, I'll select this all environment and then create policy. Now what will happen is, like, if I go as a app maker or as a flow maker to my environment, and if I want to see I use those 2 blocked connectors, you will not able to see them in your the app, either I mean maker portal, or in the flow maker portal. So that's the data policies. Yeah, so this is all I have for this managed environments. Maybe before I jump into the next topic, uh, do we have any questions?
Yeah, there was one question in the chat window from Vikram. He's asking how is this managed environment is different than existing add new environment functionality in Power Platform? Or
Okay,
Vikram,
so
if you want to add anything, please feel free to come out of mute. Yeah, Raja, go ahead.
yeah, so how is this managed different than existing add new environment? See, add new environment functionality is intended to create a environment to you. For example, if I go to this environments, here I have 3 environments, and if I want to create one more environment, you can create by using the add new environment. The managed environment is intended to manage the existing environments. I mean, your existing environments. It is like managed environment is a new component, and it is kind of going to be your one of the core component. If you are from a COE team or a governance team, it will have lot of features to control your environments. Add new environment is nothing but where you are going to create a new environment. For example, we may have multiple environments like development environment, and then the UAT environment, and the production environment. Or in your organization, if you have multiple teams and you want to segregate the data based on your business unit or the team. For example, finance team should not have finance team data should be there only in the finance environment. Then you will create a new environment by using the add new environment functionality, and you will assign, you will create a new environment for finance team, and then all your finance team members will start using this particular environment to create app and flow.
Raja, this is Vikram. Okay.
Yeah.
So just to expand on it, so basically, let's say in my organization, I have environments by region. Okay, let's say
Okay.
something for
Okay.
North America, something for Europe. Okay,
Okay.
or something
Okay.
for Asia Pacific. Okay.
Okay.
So where does this managed environment fit in? Like, is it like, can I create a single managed environment, create policies, and that would include all the environments, or is it
Okay,
a container within my Power Platform environments?
yes, so this is a container in your Power Platform environment which will control all the environments which is there in your tenant.
No, what I'm trying to say is this managed environment, is it a subset of environment, or in my managed environment, I can include all the
No, no.
development
So,
environments of
okay, okay. I
running
will
there?
put it in the other way around. I will put it in the other way around. Okay. So you have multiple environments, right? Now there is a feature or there is a possibility for you to turn that environment as a managed environment. Okay.
Okay.
So now, for example, say like standard environment. If you have like now, I will go to this one more slide. I mean, last slide that may give some information. For example, now if you see the standard environment, whatever now at this moment you are creating, everything belonging to or everything we can call it as a standard environment. Okay, if you are enabling this managed environment feature, meaning that you are making your standard environment or you are changing your standard environment to as a managed environment. So in a standard environment at this moment, okay, you may have two different users. Like right, for example, you assign either a power up user or a power automate license to a user, or some users they may get creating a flow or a creating app functionality or the permission, maybe by using this by using their Microsoft 365 licenses, right? So both the users can come to your standard environment, can create their app, okay, and do the regular activities. But if you are turning the standard environment as a managed environment, then all the users should have the dedicated license, meaning if I have the Microsoft 365 E5 license, okay, and if I want to create a app in the managed environment, it is not possible or it will not be possible once it is going uh, as a GA. Since it is in a preview view, okay, now they are not restricting, but once it is going this feature managed environment feature going as a public, then you cannot have a user which they're having a license, Microsoft 365 E5 license to create or to edit the flows. So this is the final slide which I was having it, because we have to be very clear what, like considering this license part, we have to be very clear which environment we are going to turn this RNO switch from the standard into managed environment.
Okay.
It is
So,
giving lot of feature for you, but you have to be very sure like whether it is really needed or not.
okay. So is this statement correct then? So basically, managed environment is kind of one-to-one mapping to our existing environment, where managed environment is kind of more restrictive, right? So I may have,
No, no.
let's say, three and yeah.
No, for example, like no, you can think in the other way around. uh, you have like 5 different standard environment, okay, and your site administrator saying that okay he is doing a lot of manual work, okay, and you want them to free or give some automated work, like for example getting this insight about the app or the components, right? If you are not enabling this managed environment, you will not get these features, okay, as a site admin. Still they need to go and they need to do their manual activities. If you are making that standard environment or enabling this feature, then your standard environment will be converted as a managed environment, and then you can able to use all the features which is going to be there as part of the managed environment component.
Okay.
You got it
Uh,
right. So see,
yeah,
do not
yeah.
get over confused like only with these three features. Okay, you have to think, as I said, this is just a starting stage. Only three features you have. Okay, tomorrow you have a lot of features in the coming waves. Okay, so this is just a first wave. Maybe like in next few waves there will be a lot of components or a lot of features introduced as part of this managed environment component.
So
You
basically,
got
I
it right.
think, yeah,
Yeah.
basically, I think just to add, so it looks like managed environment is for the administrator when they wanted to basically include the apps and flows we think that might be complex in nature or the solution might be like might be used widely at the organization level, then they can include in the managed environment so that they know what is going to happen with these apps and flows and things like that. Otherwise, just
Exactly.
use the standard one. Okay.
Exactly. So yes, so that like at this moment, that's what I was saying. Do not restrict just only like we are going to get the apps in app insight or the limitation. I mean, the sharing rules. There's just only three features at this moment, but in future, okay, maybe in after a couple of months, once it is going live, I don't know. I mean, GA, you will have a lot of features into it. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So
Hey,
maybe like
Raja,
some of the
yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
maybe
Sorry.
some of the use case, yeah, maybe some of the use cases are like, let's say if my organization have multiple apps, so maybe some of the enterprise app I can just add it in that managed environment, and some of
yes,
the simple
exactly.
user apps I can just exclude. I do not need to
Exactly,
monitor those.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
That is
So
the
where
one
you
of the
feel that exactly where you feel that more important apps or important features are there, you can just convert that environment to this managed environment, or you can create an environment and then you can enable this managed environment feature, and then you can ask all your users to create the important apps only here, so that it is secured and you have a lot of features enabled automatically.
okay. Okay. So
Hey,
there is
Raja,
no
one
way.
question is,
Yeah.
Yes, sorry,
So
go
there.
ahead.
I'm just thinking like, could it be that since managed environment is more restricted, right? So we kind of put it as a stage where we only give access to limited set of users. Say I'm building a big application, right? I want to roll it out to say one department, so I keep it
Yeah.
in a managed environment, right? And then later
Yep.
on, can I move that application to say availability to general public, like on an environment that is more open like that? I mean, was it that
Yeah, I think that no,
was
there
one
is
of the
nothing stopping you to give this app, right? Maybe like you can just download the app and then you can put it there in the other environment, which is the standard environment. That's it. And if you want later tomorrow, then I said right, you can disable the manage environment feature as well. So you can just disable it by using this. I was telling this command, right? You can just disable it. Like if you are making this environment level value as basic, then your manage environment feature will be or managed environment feature will be disabled. Then your environment basically turns this as a standard environment. That's it.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vikram.
Okay, if no other questions, I think we have 13 more minutes. I do not want to waste that. I maybe like, go with this options. Okay.
Yeah, thank
Uh,
you, Raja. Thank you for the
yeah.
clarification.
Okay. I kind of know my battery is running out, but yeah. So let us go with this, restore a flow. Okay. If you see the restore, I mean, somebody deleted a flow accidentally, or as admin, you deleted a flow and you wanted to restore it before this main month. I think release wave one, there was no feature. You need to raise a ticket with Microsoft, and then they will restore your flow. But in this was one of the kind of unexpected. I don't know. Everybody wanted to have this feature. And if like for example, if you are from the SharePoint background, you can go and you can delete whatever page or whatever list item, whatever, you can delete it. And if you are an admin, you can go and you can restore it from the recycle bin directly. So this type of feature, everybody is wanted, but for some reason, like there is this feature was introduced in the wave one, only by using the CLI commands. So you cannot just do it from the front end, but as you are a CLI person, or admin, having admin privilege, then you can run this CLI command, and then you can just restore the either app or the flow. Okay, so I will not just take a lot of your time. Let me go here. For example, I have this flow environment. Okay, so this is my environment URL. I mean environment ID or the name. I, for example, deleted this DHL flow, okay, mistakenly. Now, before this feature, you need to raise a support ticket with Microsoft and they will restore it. After this feature, it is very simple. You can just go and connect with your Microsoft environment. I mean the Power Pages environment, and then there is this query. So just get this flow. So what it will look, you just get this admin flow by giving the environment name and then include deleted is equal to true, meaning that it will list out all the deleted flows in the last 30 days. Okay, so that is very important. Now it will list out all the flows which I was deleting it. Okay, so for example, I deleted this DHL flow. So let us go, and before that, yeah. So if you see DHL flow, this is deleted. Now I just need this flow name, and I have another query like restore admin flow environment name. Again it will ask the environment name, flow name. You just give the flow name, I mean flow ID, then just go back to your CLI command, and then just copy paste it. Then you will see like this is restored. Okay, but how do you want to confirm? Just go and refresh your automate, I mean power automate. Okay, so now if you see it is restored, you can just activate it and then you can just work. The same way you can do it for example the power apps as well. Now let us go and delete this app, on app. Yeah. So for example, let us delete this one. My first canvas app available. Delete from cloud, and then the same code we have here. Just go here and then put it. It will give you the deleted app in the last 30 days. So copy, and then you just give it with the same code, but only changes here like admin deleted power apps list, and here we say like flow. That's it. Now go here, right click, and then it will give this status 200, meaning that it is restored. Now you go ahead and refresh. You will able to see that app restored. Yeah, so my first canvas is restored, but one addition point is like restored name. Then you just need to, again this is in inactive state, you need to activate. So that's how you can do it. But one captcha, I don't know, one condition here is like at this moment this comment will work only for the normal flow or the normal app. I mean if it is your flow or app part of solution, then it will not work. I mean solution, it will not work. Still you need to raise a case with Microsoft to get your apps or the flow back. And as I said, I am from the SharePoint background, and I still personally not okay with this feature which was introduced by Microsoft in the last release. So I was giving my suggestions to the Microsoft by raising a kind of knowledge base, I don't know, by raising this need in the community. And I think like the more people were voted for my idea, like requesting Microsoft to introduce a kind of portal based, I mean front end based restoration. I think more people are liked it, and if you are interested, please go and like it, and it is available in my blog post. With this note, I am concluding, and